Hi! Here's the other video I mentioned I was going to do. This is on the Safdie brothers thriller Uncut Gems from May 24, starring Adam Sandler, Idina Menzel, I think her name is, Lakeith Stanfield, let's see, Keith Garnett, Julia Fox, Judd Hirsch. And as I mentioned, this is a film by the Safdie brothers who did Good Time a couple years back, which starred Robert Pattinson, which um, I loved that movie. That was a really manic, nasty, grungy thriller where it was about this like scumbag criminal and his mentally disabled brother who he's like they're both trying to steal money, but the brother gets thrown in jail and he's trying to scramble together the funds to break him out. But it's like he's Pattinson's character is like a fuck up and an idiot and an asshole.
And so, I'm just here to, just hang out, so
yeah,
I'm gonna be doing my thing.
Yeah.
So ignore me in the background and
focus on me.
Yeah, let's see if we can move that a little more. There we go.
Okay. And I loved Good Time when that came out a couple of years ago. I caught it on video. It was like barely in theaters for a week, and I was not really aware of its existence until it was out of theaters. When I was hearing people talk about it when it opened up in some other markets, and I was like, "Whoa, what's this movie?" So I rented it. I loved it. I was looking forward to what the directors were going to do next. And I kept on hearing all this insane buzz for Uncut Gems of how it stars Adam Sandler as this jewel dealer in New York and around the year 2012, I think. 2012, the year the movie takes place in, where he plays this jewel dealer who's also severely addicted to gambling. Like, he's a guy who, across the city, he's just going around doing gambling bets left and right, up and down, side to side with other people. You know, like, he gets money from this guy, which was a loan from this, which he got off of pawning this thing just for a couple of days so that he can. It's like he's almost like addicted to the. Not just the thrill of it, but also the complexity of it, of how much he could just keep on trying to, like, win or lose a bet, whatever. And he ends up trying to do the score of a lifetime when he ends up giving a precious gemstone that is supposed to go on auction to basketball player Keith. What was his name again? I just said it. Give me a moment. I'm going to use your phone. Sorry. What the? Oh, okay. Sorry.
Need help?
Yeah. Thank you.
Hang on.
Let's see oh yeah, to Keith Garnett. It's like Keith Garnett ends up getting like strangely mesmerized by the by the gemstone that Sandler possesses. So like he offers to, it's like he gets like this like weird voodoo kind of thing going on. Like it's like he just has this vibe about it where he's like, nah, man, I need to have this. I need to have this. How much do you want for it? And he's telling him, I really can't sell it, but I can give it to you for a day if you lend me your ring. And he gets his ring and he decides to use that ring to pawn it off so that he can make a quick buck off of that and then use the money off of the pawn that he just made with that ring to place bets on Garnett winning at the basketball game the following night. It wins. He wins and he ends up getting more money, but that ends up causing a series of loan sharks to just kind of come swimming after his ass to try and get money back from him. And this, it's like this is definitely one of those movies where it's like I did like it, I did quite like it, but at the same time I kind of wish I liked it more. Not just because of the insane critical reviews it got, which this movie's received glowing praise left and right, and I'd say for like pretty justified reasons. But at the same time, I kind of like one of the things I loved about the Safdie brothers' other movie, Good Time, was that there was like this really sense of just mania in Good Time. Like I kind of felt like I was going crazy, and I was like. I felt like I was just as stressed out as everything else that was going on in the movie. It felt like I was having an actual panic attack watching that. This, despite kind of the stakes being higher, at least to me, it felt like it didn't feel as manic as that movie did. Maybe it's because it's a little more grounded, or what, or maybe it's because the different kind of character we're working with here. Maybe if I saw the movie again, I'd react to it different. But watching it, I was certainly impressed by the craft of it, and it is definitely a good movie. And Sandler is great in the film. He is delivering an exceptional performance as this scumbag jewel dealer. But at the same time, I wish I was kind of wrapped up in it like everyone else, all the other reviews I've been seeing for it. Um, and also another thing was that as I was watching it, I was definitely into it, but I wasn't like I wasn't completely on board. But the ending, when the film gets to the ending, I kind of felt like, okay, this is where the movie is really, really hooking its claws into me. Which, to kind of summarize the feelings I was having with the ending, man, I never thought watching a basketball game could be so goddamn stressful.
It's actually not that stressful. I've been to one.
But I'm saying, like, in the context of this movie, it becomes one of those like, oh, is he gonna make the? Is he gonna make the shot? Oh, God damn it! Why didn't he make the fucking shot? Like, it becomes one of those kind of things during the movie, and there's also a lot of other good things in it. Like, it's really well shot. They got Darius Kanji to shoot it, who's shot films like The Lost City of Z and Seven, so of course it's gonna look great. And then, like the rest of the cast, Sandler isn't just great, but everyone else is. Probably the biggest surprise is Keith Garnett himself, who, like, this is actually the first movie he's ever been in. He's like a retired basketball player now, but, like and from what I understand, he doesn't have much of an interest in pursuing an acting career. Like, he just kind of did this because, it was because the directors asked him to. And he was like, yeah, sure, whatever, I'll do it. But for the scenes that he has where he actually acts, he does have presence and this kind of like feeling of like, like, whoa, man, probably shouldn't mess with him. Damn. Um, Everyone else is really good. It's got a really terrific synth soundtrack in this that it's like there's even like this like Jewish choir you can hear where they're like chanting Hebrew in a couple of scenes. Um, there's also some really strange, visually extravagant sequences in it, like where in the opening scene when we discover the gemstone that Howard's been trying to get a hold of, it's been in these mines in Ethiopia, and it's like, we go into the gemstone and it looks like we're swirling through this cosmic haze of beautiful colors and whatnot, and then we slowly pull out of the out of the gemstone, and the colors kind of shift from being those beautiful colors to like something you'd see it's someone's organs, and then the camera slowly pulls out and it goes from being really hyper detailed in CG to being some like you'd see on like someone's colonoscopy, and then it's like slowly pulling out to see a television monitor showing it go down. It's of the main character at the doctor's. There's cool camera tricks that they do in the movie like that. I just kind of wish that it had me by the throat more. Maybe I might react to it better on a second viewing. I know one thing's for certain: my audience was not having this movie. A couple of people walked out about halfway into it. I think it was just because they were offended at all the nasty content that's in this, because everyone's using the F word like there's no damn tomorrow. Like, everyone's just like one of the best lines you hear in the trailer is, it's like, I heard you resurfaced your fucking swimming pool. You know how that makes me feel? And then another one where Lakeith Stanfield, who's kind of playing like an on-off guard kind of buddy of Adam Sandler's, he just goes like, man, what is it with Jews and fucking basketball? Like, there's just like characters who just go on these big explosive rants about F-bombs and shit, like, you fucking do it, what the fuck did you fucking do it, you motherfucker?
Kids do not listen.
In fact, this movie's actually broken records on having the most F-bombs in a movie. Like, apparently it's around somewhere over 400. I have to respect a movie like that that's able to make a record like that. Call me crass, I don't care. But yeah, like, I may not have fully loved the film, but I certainly really respected it, and I'd be up for rewatching it again just to kind of see if maybe if I'd vibe with it better. Maybe the expectations of all the critical reviews and how much I loved Good Time may have influenced this. Maybe if I didn't have those things in the back of my mind, maybe I'd enjoy it more. Because I've certainly seen people who loved Good Time who think this is better. I kind of didn't think so. I thought, yeah, this is good, but this is quite good, but I didn't like it as much as Good Time. Good Time just like had me like. Still, if you're interested in seeing Uncut Gems, go for it. Like it's an independent film. It's put out by the same studio that's put out a bunch of slew of other great movies, stuff like Midsummer and The Lighthouse and The Witch and all that other cool stuff. So go right on ahead if you're interested. Just be warned, like it's not for everybody. Anyway, all of you have a good day, or evening in this case, since we're shooting it at night. Anyway, bye bye. Oh, want to say bye, Barbara?
Bye.